What's going on, everybody? I'm Keith, host of Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas, where 4 to 5 of my brothers give their perspective on national as well as local news. We touch on some trending hot topics as well as culturally relevant news. We also get a chance to dive into some deep core conversations. Check us out live every other Monday at 7 p.m. You can find us on Just Our Thoughts on YouTube live, as well as Just Our Thoughts fan page on Facebook. Also, please don't forget to follow us on IG, JOT with the Fellas. Shakur, what up, my good brother? What's going on, man?
Hey, good evening, INF. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? What's up? We are here, man,
Hey,
back for
yes,
another
sir. Yes, sir.
episode, man. Another good conversation, man. I could share with my good brother, man, with the Eagles in the back. He's ready. He's representing right now. Oh man, my brother got froze. I don't know if that was him or me that just got froze, man. But we are back, man, for another dope conversation. There you go. There you go. I don't know if that was me or
Okay,
you that was
that
froze
was
for a
probably
second,
me.
man. Okay. Okay. You ready
Yeah,
tonight?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm suited up, man. I've had my Gatorade. I'm warmed up. I stretched and everything. I'm ready to get on the field tonight, man. I'm ready to showcase my talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, y'all in Washington or y'all in Philly?
Are we in Philly tonight? We're at the link. We're at the
Jeez.
link.
Yeah.
Yeah, the link is going to be insane tonight,
Oh
man.
my
So.
gosh.
We in the building, we coming deep, coming strong. So, I heard they might have a little small tribute to Carson.
He's not playing though, is he?
He's not playing, but he'll be there on the sideline. But I think they wanted
Okay.
to do some kind of small tribute to Carson because he was integral in that Super Bowl run.
He was, man. I thought, I see fans, man, they take away his the part that he played in getting that team, man, to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl that year. Although he didn't play in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Um,
Yeah. Here's my thing though, INF. It had to be a lot of pressure on that dude to come back the following year, see a statue built out front of the link of the quarterback that won the actual Super Bowl and not him. You know how much pressure,
yeah,
how
yeah.
much expectation he probably put on himself, a little too much because, you know, I did almost all the work that season, but there's a statue of another man outside of the link that won that big game for them. How much pressure is that, bro?
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure. Super Bowl. We here with the basketball. Football season. We in the middle of the season, man. Y'all doing
Hmm.
pretty good. Y'all doing really well, man. This season, man. Y'all 8-0. We dropped a big one yesterday. We need this win next week against Minnesota. It's gonna be a tough win. Them boys are balling. So it's gonna be a
Yeah,
tough win, man. What's up, Rob Tufnell? What's going on, my
Rob
good
Tough
brother? Thanks
now.
for joining us, man. Rob, I
Rob
see
Tough
you
now.
growing some hair around you growing a beard, man. Did you see Rob growing a beard?
I did see him on TikTok with that thick behind wolf beard he
There you
got
go.
there, man.
There you go. He got that red beard going, man. Oh man.
Yes. Keep it
So
going, Rob.
shout out to Rob. Shout out to Arlene. Thanks for joining us and
Hey,
those that are watching. Thanks for everybody joining us here on Just Our
thank
Thoughts.
you.
This
Thank you,
is my
y'all.
brother, Professor Kevy Kev. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? It's Monday.
Yeah.
Was off last week, had a few things going on, illness, little death in the family, but trying to just get back in gear Monday, a sense of normalcy, back at work on the
Hmm.
grind.
Hmm.
It's hard to come back after a layover,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
being,
Yeah.
you know, in the bigger things and
Mhm.
everything, but we're back in on Monday. We're back in today. We are back in the grind. So all
Mhm.
is well, man. What's going on, Will?
Big Will,
Lenny
what's up, man?
Sankofa.
The
Yeah,
Sankofa.
yeah, yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
shout out
Get
to
your Philly on. Rob, you
Rob.
liar.
He getting his
You
Philly on
put them
YouTube.
comments up there, man. Put them comments up there, man.
I've never seen
Rob, man.
Arlene talk about the Eagles, but they're 9 and they're
Yeah.
8-0, and Arlene is actually posting about it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so yeah,
I
man.
see you, Arlene.
This season is interesting, man. We going into this Thanksgiving season, the holiday season. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's gonna be kind of. I always look forward to this season, man. It's a season of some festive times, so I'm definitely
Yeah.
looking forward to it, man. Some good food next week on Thanksgiving, some
Yes, sir.
relaxation, some
Yeah.
football, man, and just chilling out, man. You cooking
Yeah.
anything?
Well, this year we're going to go up to New York. We're going to stay in
Okay,
New York in Times Square. We're going to go we're going to stay Wednesday to Friday, and
okay.
we're going to catch the Michael Jackson play on Broadway.
Yo, me and KJ been talking about this for a minute. We trying to
Yeah.
figure out which day we going. Seriously, we
Yeah.
we trying to
Yeah.
figure this out. That's funny that you said
Mhm.
that. You got the
We got
tickets
Black
already?
Friday tickets. We got Black
Okay,
Friday
okay,
tickets.
okay.
It was a grip. It was a grip, but we want to see it, man.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
little man is big on MJ right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Big on MJ, and I'm an MJ fan. I got him up
We
there on
know
the
that.
wall,
We know that.
you know. And talk is that they're going to do a Thriller 40, a
What's that?
Thriller 40 concert. I think it's 40 years
Okay.
since Thriller was released. So I think they're going to somebody's putting together a Thriller 40-year anniversary, some type of celebration or concert
Yeah,
tribute to Michael. And I'm
that would be
wherever it is, I'm down. I'm
that,
down.
that would be dope right there, man. That would be dope right there,
So
man.
that's my thing. That's our Thanksgiving plans. A little something non-traditional this year, bro.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Taking the family out, away, man, and just chilling, man. I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to nothing. Some good food, just relaxing, sitting back, man, and not having any time frames to meet, man. You know, how young, bro?
Yeah, I
Oh
feel
man.
you.
Yeah,
I
so
feel you.
we want to thank everybody for joining us here on Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas. I'm
Hmm.
your host Keith, and I got my brother, the Professor Kevy Kev,
Yes, sir.
joining us. We don't have our two other brothers, man, Ward and
Hmm.
EB, man, right now, but we can hold it down for them brothers, man.
Let's
Nothing
hold
but
it
love.
down.
We love you, fellas. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Let's
yeah,
hold
man.
it down.
So let's hold it down. Hey, man. So where you want to start? You want to get into some trending topics first?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's get
yeah,
into some trending topics,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Let's hop into it, man. What we
Yeah.
got? We got
Well, let's go into some midterms, man. Let's go into
ah,
some midterms, man.
okay.
I kind of want to get your thoughts, man. You definitely abreast on
Mm,
things that goes on political, man, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain,
yeah.
and just see what some of your thoughts following those midterms.
Mhm, mhm.
I paid attention
Yeah.
much to what was going on down there in Georgia for some reason,
Mhm.
in Pennsylvania, when it came to the race
Yeah.
for the senator seats, and
Yeah.
in Georgia, the senator seat in the governor
Yeah.
seat, I
Yeah.
certainly paid attention to, man. And for me, I I thought it was interesting, man, how Stacey Abrams unfortunately came up,
Uh,
and I don't even want to say short.
yeah.
um she was unable to win that,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we were talking yesterday, and I think one of the things that I was sharing was the push for black men to get out and vote.
Mhm.
There was a huge push for black men to get out and vote,
Mhm.
and black men came out and voted. And matter of fact,
Yeah.
I talked about it briefly, man, and black men came out and voted, and yet and
Mhm.
still she was unable to pull that one off, man. And I found that to be
Right.
interesting. But just wanted to get your thoughts on that, my good brother, on it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
With the Trumpies and the far rights, the far left, and Abortion and Warnock and
Ah.
Herschel Walker, and wanted to see what you got for me, man.
Yo, my God, where do we start, man? Like, like you were saying though, it was real interesting in PA to
Hmm.
see Senator Fetterman
Hmm.
beat Dr. Oz, who was backed by Trump, and Fetterman, Democrat, who was backed not only was Biden in the area and former President Obama in the area campaigning for him, but then he had Oprah uh, given a strong word to vote for Fetterman too. And Fetterman is an individual who just suffered a stroke not too long ago, and I don't know if you saw any snippets from his debate with Oz, but he had a terrible debate because he just could not articulate very
Mm,
well on a lot of the sticking points and some of the things that were brought up about, like, some of the stances that he had in the past. He really fumbled. He really could not put it into words, really, the direction of his campaign, and it was really pathetic and sad. But he still managed to get that important Democratic seat for the Senate. So that was interesting to see. Yeah, there it is. Will, I support fracking. He fumbled over this one sticking point about fracking, which is one of the energy issues in Pennsylvania. He said, in the past, he said he didn't support fracking. So when they brought it up again to say, do you still, have you changed your stance? He fumbled the bag big time, man, and it was hilarious, but it was signs that he has not recovered fully from a stroke,
mm,
and questions about if his health will be able to sustain him while he's in office.
mhm,
So that was interesting over in PA. And then when you're down in Georgia, bro, with Stacey Abrams,
mhm.
one of
Yeah.
the things I kept hearing, like you were saying, was this thing about black men, that black men wasn't coming out voting, and black men didn't uh don't know what they want to receive from the Democrat Party. It was like black men was being blamed for the loss that Stacey Abrams took. And this was from the Democratic people as well.
Mm.
But really, where I don't believe that her campaign focused on, it was on a lot of those white voters.
Yo, I saw a map yesterday, and I'm looking at it right now.
Hmm.
Nothing but red. You
Yeah.
would think Bloods control Georgia. Nothing but red, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I'm wondering, where's the
Hmm.
misinformation where the campaigning should be
Hmm.
in certain areas.
Yeah.
2 years
Hmm.
ago, Georgia turned blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where was the
Hmm.
lack or the lack of focus, if that's the case, in terms
Yeah.
of a focus on getting those red counties out to vote.
Hmm. Yeah, and one of the things I think that was a failure of her campaign, the GOP, they did a lot more groundwork, a lot more. They had a lot more boots on the ground, really setting up satellite offices in the hoods in Georgia
Mhm,
to really show black people and people who are poor how they could benefit from a Republican vote. The tangible things that they could offer to the black community. And really, the Democratic Party didn't have that type of strategy to offer a lot of the residents of Georgia. They didn't have any tangible platforms that they could say, why are we voting for
mhm,
Democrats?
mhm,
Is it for reparations?
mhm,
Is it to fix the broken voters voting system down there? Is it to shift the economic issue that is ailing a lot of people in Georgia? You know what I'm saying? What really is
right,
the reason why we should be voting Democrat? And they really didn't have a lot of the boots on the ground to really spread that. Not just during election time. A lot of
mhm,
people are like, this got to be 24/7. Don't just show up with false with these empty promises around election time. We
mhm,
get y'all in office and nothing changes.
mhm.
So, and kudos to Stacey Abrams, a brilliant
Yeah,
black woman.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah.
been doing this work since she was an early teenager.
Mhm,
And to come and have a second defeat against Brian Kemp says a lot about the Republican influence down there in Georgia.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
And she, mentioned in her concession speech that she's going to continue to push the agenda, to push the and continue to do her work down there in Georgia. One
mm,
thing that I wanted to get to, and it's been a conversation just throughout, like just across the country, a huge conversation, and not just specifically for Kyrie. As we
mhm,
know, Kyrie Irvin, player for the Brooklyn Nets, Some can call him controversial over the last several years. I
Mhm.
call him an individual that's enjoying and finding himself.
Right.
He posted, and as many people know, he posted or tweeted
Mhm.
a could be said controversial movie
Mhm.
2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
after tweeting that, Kyrie has some terms, and I'm gonna say the terms of his sentence is what I'm gonna call it,
Mhm.
that he needed to fulfill in order to continue and get
Right.
back on the team. I did have some thoughts on it. One was to apologize and condemn the movie. Another
Mhm.
one was a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes,
Mhm.
sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training. Meet with Jewish leaders and meet with
Mhm.
the owner Josiah to demonstrate that he understands.
Right.
You're right, Ward. A documentary. We just talked about it. Documentary.
Mhm.
And for me, I struggle with that because I feel like we the only
Mhm.
people that are put through these ringers when it
Mhm.
comes to an apology.
Mhm.
We get terms put on us that we have to fulfill, that we have to meet these requirements to get back to the team that we're on. He already apologized. And for me, we've gotten to a place where we need more than an apology. That apology wasn't the apology that we were looking for.
Mhm.
So that's not an apology. I need you to go through these jump hoops, go through this
Yeah.
ringer, go down the street, make a right, and continue to do and fulfill these other requirements that's needed for you to
Mhm.
get back on this team because that's where your
Yeah.
money is. And for
Right.
me, I definitely got a problem with that.
Mhm.
We never saw. I forget this brother's name. Man, what is this brother's name? Riley Cooper. Riley Cooper. He didn't apologize in 2013 when he used a
Mhm.
racial slur at this concert. George Zimmerman, he never apologized. You know,
Mhm.
um, for some of these acts, and most of these guys, these white men, don't apologize, but it's up to us, ye.
Mhm.
And for me, I certainly got an issue with that. I'm okay with him being wrong, but
Yeah.
it's the steps that he has to take to
Mhm.
get back on the team. So I think that's the issue that I have.
Okay.
With this whole thing with Kyrie, it's not even a movie, or the
Mhm.
documentary, as Ward says. It's the hoops that he has to take to continue
Mhm.
to provide for his family.
Right, right, right. Yeah. And real quick, Alyssa Wiles, I just want to let you know that I've got ginger tea with sea moss and honey in my mug on this evening for my immune system. But I do agree with you, man. A public humiliation, a public example that they want to
Absolutely.
make of Kyrie Irvin because what appears to many of the Jewish community, he has stepped out of line with the posting of the documentary on his platform from Hebrews to Negroes, which I did watch. It was a 3-hour documentary,
You watched that whole thing?
and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it was mind blowing. A lot of things in it I was already kind of aware of,
Yeah.
but again, everything with a grain of salt. And I think one of the things that upset the Jewish community is that and I was listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talk about both Kyrie, and one of the things that Minister Farrakhan has stated was that Kyrie is in a point of his life right now where he is searching for his identity,
Absolutely.
and a lot of us want to know more about our heritage and our ancestry past slavery. I'm tired of a slave movie. I don't want to see another slave movie, bro. Okay. And I think that, a lot of people need to know that we have a history prior to slavery.
Hmm.
All right. That really outdates a lot of civilizations as far as Black people,
Hmm.
people of color. And Kyrie, as he is searching for himself, himself and for his identity. Yes, he does have to kind of toe a thin line because of the profession that he's in, and also to make sure you fact check everything
Hmm.
that you might so-called endorse, because everything might have some fault within it, some errors in it.
Hmm.
So you got to do your own fact checking before you endorse it. And he didn't publicly say anything, but just by putting it on your
Just endorsement.
platform means that you endorse the substance that's contained in it.
Yeah. It,
But again, I want to say that, you know, I think that there's a move to really push for people to understand that Black people have a wealth of history that predates slavery in America, that predates the transatlantic slave ships that brought us here, to a rich
yeah.
history
Hmm.
in Africa, all right, in the Middle East, in that area, that a lot of people need to do more research and have an open and honest dialogue about who we are as a
Yeah.
people. So,
Yeah.
but again, I think Kyrie is just being put on the chopping block. He's being put out there to be a public example
Hmm.
of, when a person says that, yeah, I am part of the Jewish community as well. That's frowned upon by a lot of people in power. So
Hmm.
I
You
just
know,
I just hope that he can transition himself back into
mhm.
playing the game
Yeah, that
and
he
in
left.
the good graces of every of those that had the power to bring him back into the league. So
Yeah, I think, like, for me, when I see that, and you
mm,
see this demand, these requirements that's set upon him, I think the two things for me is, like, where is the opportunity for growth for him? Like, where's that opportunity for him to grow? This is a young man that's searching. Um, where's the opportunity for a teachable moment? You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Instead of these
right.
huge requirements put on him to fulfill, he already apologized. Do we skip that opportunity to say, like, this is a teachable moment?
Mm,
And it's always, when it comes to them, is always a public
yeah,
demand,
right. Hmm.
versus doing something behind the doors, behind the scenes. And I think
Right.
that's some of my problems, some of my issues I have with it. And I was rooting for Brooklyn,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know, I
but I
know,
don't
I
know
know.
if I could definitely
Yeah,
support. I can't support that franchise, man,
right,
anymore.
right.
Just simply by how they handling, this Kyrie
Exactly.
thing, man.
And
Um,
where's forgiveness in all of this? If
right.
if the Jewish people are offended by the comments that he made, and he has
Hmm.
posted and also publicly stated that he has apologized,
Absolutely.
where is forgiveness in all of this? The
Right.
spiritual
Right.
law of that Jewish people hold so dearly. You know what I'm saying? And one, they got to realize that that has to be a big piece of this as well, to have reconciliation occur, and like you said, a moment for him to learn, and
Hmm.
also for the Jewish community to be open to learning some things as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So next, man, let's moving on. We got kind of attached to that, just briefly, my boy Dave Chappelle was on Saturday Night Live, and his monologue was classic Chappelle.
Mhm,
Some of the writers, they decided, before he was going to be on SNL, that they didn't want to be a part of it. They
mhm,
didn't want to show up. Dave, in his true fashion, brilliant monologue. And
mhm.
I definitely, if you can, check that out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he said, and he
yeah.
mentioned one of the things that he learned long time ago, of
Mhm,
two words and not to say. And I thought that was dope, with
mhm.
with what's his name, Dave Chappelle did, man.
Right,
I was
right.
amazing.
Dave has a way of really bringing to light a lot of the issues in society, and putting a lot of satire with it.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I mean, even if he had issues with the trans community, he's had issues with a couple other communities, and now the Jewish community. The Anti-Defamation League has come out to condemn his monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they recently, Jonathan Greenblatt came out with a tweet that they condemn his rhetoric during the monologue. But again, I just believe that Dave has such a gift to really paint a picture and illustrate
Mm-hmm.
the nuances and the issues that we
Yeah.
have in society with different groups, be it gay, lesbian,
Mm-hmm.
straight,
Mm-hmm.
different ethnic groups, and can play satire and make funny of it, and but also have a genuine point of really what's going on. One
Yeah.
of the things that he did say that makes you really think and gives you that aha moment. He said, "I've been to Hollywood, and if it's one thing I can say, there are a lot of Jews there." And he says, I've also been to Ferguson, Missouri, and there's a lot of black people there, but that don't mean that they running things, So there's the satire that he's
Mhm.
having on it,
Yeah.
just to say that a
And
group of people dominate a certain area.
mhm.
That's like saying all black people playing basketball. Where's the white dudes? That's nothing false. But
Yeah.
again, it's satire, and sometimes you got to be able to see that there are some truths that he is conveying, again, that hurts people's feelings,
Mhm.
for one reason or another, but accept the truth
Yeah.
that he's putting forth there,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I dig
No,
it.
it's he's spitting facts, man. He's spitting facts and the truth, and he intertwined the two, and that comedy definitely comes
He
together,
don't care
man.
about getting canceled.
And that's the one thing that I think for me that when you put yourself in that position when you're not a work for hire,
Mm,
partnering with people,
yeah.
I think I that's the position that can certainly be appreciated. Like you're
Mhm,
not a work for hire. Dave is partnering with people.
yeah.
So I think that's dope in what he's doing. What you got,
Yeah.
brother?
You had a few comments up there. I didn't know if you want to I thought I saw
What
a
we
couple
got? Dave is
questions
very
up there.
strategic in what he says and
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
stands on.
yeah.
Big Will says he is a master.
A master
He is a
comic.
master
Yeah,
comic.
yeah, 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 yeah.
In the African American community are the only community that forgives, and
Mhm. Mm.
that's after we cancel. Big Will. That's
That's
after we
after we
cancel.
get canceled.
Yeah, after we get canceled, and then that's when the forgiveness falls in place, man. And
Yeah,
um
yeah.
Wardy says teachable
Mhm.
for who, Kyrie or everyone else. I think the teachable moment for Kyrie, and if we're watching, we can
Yeah,
watch how things are mended, how
yeah,
relationships are mended. I think that's the most important thing when you think about teachable moments. They're easily $1 billion industry,
yeah.
and to see these relationships break down
Mhm.
from what's his name, from James Harden to everyone else throughout the last couple years, and their relationship with Kyrie last year when he didn't want to get vaxxed, and now they're playing in New York without
Yeah,
him getting vaxxed, and
yeah,
people in New York
yeah.
are coming back to work
Mhm.
and getting back pay.
Right.
Those that didn't get vaxxed. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think those teachable moments
yeah.
can be seen, can be heard, and it's something that we, not
Mhm.
only him, can really just tap into,
Right.
and implement those things and how you mend relationships in our lives.
Right. Just to piggyback on that too, as far as Kyrie, like I said before you endorse anything, you really got to do your fact checking. And
Absolutely.
while I believe there's a lot of gems in the documentary, you still got to do your research on a lot of things that are said in there. And I know one of the things that was swirling around that the Holocaust didn't exist or didn't
Yeah.
occur, when there were, documented proof that millions of individuals were exterminated at the hands of Hitler during that time.
Hmm.
But again, you got to do your research. You got to fact check. You got to take things
Hmm.
with a grain of salt, and you got to compare it up against other studies, other research that is out there before you
Hmm.
jump wholeheartedly into something else.
Yeah.
And when you was talking about Kyrie's stance on the vaccination, you remember how that was such a divisive conversation at work and at
Mhm.
home with
Mhm.
family and with friends. Why you ain't taking it? And you should take it. You remember how divisive
Yeah,
it was for a
yeah.
moment, INF? I don't
Mm.
know if you experienced that, but
I remember.
I really did. For a lot of people like myself that kind of stood firm and,
Mhm.
didn't want to do that,
You felt judged.
I was an outcast for a while,
You felt
you
judged.
know.
Yeah,
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 a lot of people didn't want to come around me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was a very divisive conversation, and to
Mhm,
see the progression from then to now, you
mhm,
almost say, wow, I thank God where he brought us from and what he
mhm,
brought us through,
mhm.
and I hope that none of us did anything to jeopardize our lives or the lives of other people.
Yeah,
So, but it
yeah.
was a hot, divisive
It
conversation
definitely
for a
was,
while.
man, where people were being judged, man. People, organizations, departments, people were losing their jobs over, whether you will be vaxxed or not. Shoot, we talked about it on several occasions throughout the year,
Yeah,
last couple years here on our podcast, man. What you
yeah.
got next, brother?
Yo, so I'm looking here in what we was putting up, and one of the things that came up, when we were talking about the midterms, Warnock and Walker.
Hmm, hmm.
So you still have enough, even though the Democrats control the Senate at this time because they already have 50 that are in the Senate seat, while the Republicans have 49. There's still one that is remaining, which is the Senate seat in Georgia,
Hmm.
Reverend Raphael Warnock and the former Dallas Cowboy, Minnesota Viking, or Philadelphia
Georgia Bulldog.
Eagle, Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, I was going to say don't put him just on the Cowboys, dog.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel.
I have it, man. I think it's an insult to the black community to have this individual run for a political seat, to run for a political office, because he is truly an unintelligent individual. You talk about, I talked about Fetterman having a stroke. He had a medical reason, and maybe Herschel does. Maybe so
I don't
many
know.
years of
I'm with you.
as a running back
That
and
helmet
being
fit.
hit, he might have some CTE going on. But
Mhm.
see, I feel really insulted for the black people of Georgia to have to have Herschel Walker as a
Represent.
candidate who
Mhm.
is in a runoff right now. December 6th, I think, is the runoff
Yeah, yeah,
to determine who gets that last seat in the Senate for Georgia.
yeah.
But that shows you that the Republicans aren't concerned about the person being qualified. All right. And we can always talk about qualifications with Jeff Saturday getting that coach job. But look at the qualifications. The Republican Party is not even concerned with a qualified individual running for that office. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Herschel is unqualified.
yeah,
And now to be in a runoff for that seat is just absurd. But it's
yeah.
still very important to get that seat because of Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat that hedges and hodges against Joe Biden's issues.
Okay,
And then in
okay, okay.
2024, you might have about 30 more Democratic seats up for reelection. So that seat is still important,
Mhm.
even though Kamala would be the tiebreaker if it's 50-50. But
Yeah,
I'm just insulted, if I was a black Georgian, that you would put this individual
yeah,
up to represent me in the US Senate.
yeah. Against Warnock, someone of his
Against Warnock.
status.
Yeah, 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 yeah. A pastor,
Yeah,
someone who has dedicated his life to
educated.
politics and to
Absolutely,
service, an
absolutely.
educated black man, and he's in a runoff. Why? Because white evangelical Christians endorse Herschel Walker.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll leave it there.
You gonna leave it there, yo, bro? So I started. I think
Hmm.
was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I completed some information, man, for our student loan,
Mhm.
for the forgiveness program,
Right.
and I saw that there's a rule against it from this judge,
Mhm. Mhm.
and for me, it's this one sister I started following. a couple people from school started sending around, and she's
Mhm.
really on top of this loan thing with the loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
I'll shoot you her information.
Mhm.
But I wanted to throw that out there when it comes to that loan forgiveness, man.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts with that in terms of Joe Biden putting it out there and judges, simply just ruling against it?
Yeah, yeah. So it was a federal judge in Texas that shot down President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, labeling it an unconstitutional exercise of Congress's legislative power. I think they feel like Biden overreached in his power to
Hmm.
not have Congress put this thing into action, but he used executive authority to put it in place. So there were a lot of lawsuits, INF, that came from almost everywhere, but a lot of them were dismissed except for this one.
Hmm.
This one held up in court to block and to halt it for right now. So the United States Department of Education had to take the link off their website for the loan forgiveness. All right. There's been 26 million American people that have submitted applications. 16 million people have already been approved, while 10 million people are still waiting. I'm some of that. I hope I'm one of them 10 million people that's
Hmm.
waiting to get mine forgive. But it's crazy because it does throw a monkey wrench
It does.
in this program to erase federal student debt. There is a lot of flaws in it because, again, somehow some way the government's going to get this money if it's raising taxes back on all of us or our children when they become of age. So there are a lot of questions and concerns about it, but this was a sticking point and a talking point of the Biden campaign for a long time, talking about, from the beginning when he was running for president, that he was going to look
He
at
did.
getting rid of
He did.
$10,000 or
He did.
$20,000 of student debt. And
He
this
did.
was something that, because a lot of things that he tried to come to bring the past from his campaign have really fallen by the wayside,
Hmm.
except for that building better program that he recently passed. But a lot of other things, the George Floyd Policing Act and the student debt, these are things and promises that he made on the
Yeah.
campaign trail, and they have still not come to fruition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's got a lot of work to do. It does pause it for right now, but I think that right now, I think that the Department of Education has appealed the ruling. So we're going to see, what
Yeah.
happens from
I
there.
definitely want to. I submitted my application a couple weeks ago. I think there was it two?
Mhm.
I think it was two deadlines. One
Yes.
deadline, then they extended it.
Yeah. October
Um,
31st, I think, was the last deadline.
okay, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So now that's hope that thing goes through, man. Um, what else you got, man?
Mm, I never.
On a
I
good
think
note.
that's. Listen. I think that's.
Well, I want to say
Come
we
on.
hadn't seen it yet, but I want to
Hmm.
give a shout
I'd
out.
see. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go into it because I
That's
know you
that's
ain't.
fine. You don't have to. I just want to talk about you. Stupid. I just want to talk about, man. Just seeing on social media, um, us getting out, man. To see Wakanda forever. Wakanda, the Black Panther, man. I love to see us getting out as
Mhm,
families and going to the movies, spending some time, and then watching a movie. Like you said, it's not about slavery, but it's about Black empowerment.
mhm,
And I hadn't seen it yet, but we supposed to check it out tomorrow. I'm gonna see if Nia did her homework, and we're gonna check that thing out tomorrow. So, but
mhm.
but no, I definitely want to check it out, man. But
Yeah.
for me, like you said, I love these type of movies. The Woman King was another one. I know,
Mhm,
people
mhm,
had an issue with, some people had an issue with a woman being in charge. I didn't. I loved it. I loved it. So those two movies, man, Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever, man. Shout out if you hadn't seen it yet, and
Mhm,
definitely, Kevin said he'll pay your ticket if you are disappointed. he'll refund you his money,
Yeah,
your
right.
money. So holla at my brother.
Yeah, right. Don't be putting
Yeah.
that out there, man. Get out of here. Listen, I want to say something about it, but I wanted to save it for my professor segment. So
Okay. Okay.
I ain't gonna say too much. But an excellent movie. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent movie.
And it's okay not to compare, right, to the first one.
This no, you can't compare. You don't
Okay.
even think about comparing
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking
because
about.
you're looking for something in this movie,
Yeah.
and you're going to get it.
Yeah. Nah, that's what I'm talking about. That's dope.
I
Nah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
would say that. I would say
Yeah.
that to you.
Prayers,
Um,
man. Go ahead.
yeah, no. I just I want to hit you on the professor thing with a little thought that I had on it.
I got you. I got
But
you.
it's good to see black people on the screen, the representation of
Yeah.
us,
Yes.
all
Yeah.
shades of the spectrum of color
Yes.
was represented in this movie, and it was awesome to see, bro.
Yeah. 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 Man, and speaking of people of color, prayers to the families of the three victims that was
Yes.
killed in University of Virginia shooting. The shooter has been identified earlier today. So just prayers out to that family, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know,
was
it's yeah,
yeah.
that was horrific incident that occurred. Said to be
Yeah.
a former football
Hmm.
player. I'm not sure. I can't go into details because I'm not, abreast of the information, man. But
Right.
prayers, man.
Yes.
Three young lives taken. You know,
Hmm.
um, at this point, man. And I got a few things, man. I wanted to share, man.
Go ahead.
Few upbeat things, man. Shout out to
Hmm.
Camden High School football team on winning their
All right.
first sectional Group 3 divisional championship, man. The
Hmm.
High beat Seneca 21-0. And Coach Bob Henson's first year, man. So shout out to Camden High
Shout
on
out.
was it Friday or Saturday? I don't know why
I think it
I don't
was
know why I'm bugging. It
Friday.
was you sure it was Saturday? It was
I think
Saturday.
it's Saturday. Okay. It was
Yeah, I think it was
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. We had went up to check Knuckles out, man. And speaking of Camden High, man, DJ
Hmm.
Wagner, our number one overall high school basketball prospect in the country,
Yeah.
committed to University of Kentucky a few hours a few
Hmm.
hours ago. So shout out to a lot of people was kind of trying to
Hmm.
figure out where was he going, Louisville, Kentucky, how is he going to do it? But Kentucky is his spot. So I know a lot of Camden folk, man, our hometown, shout out. He's holding us down, man. And
Yeah.
lastly, I want to give a shout out to our nephew Knuckles, man, Christopher Allen Jr. I want to give a shout out to Knuckles, man.
Hmm.
This dude,
Hmm.
he had his last football game. His last football game. He's a senior
Collegiate.
collegiate football game. Dope.
Hmm.
And a lot of family and friends were able to support him. Knuckles is a good dude. Been playing football for such a long time, basketball for such a long time, and to see that support, to see him playing.
Hmm.
I want to give that brother a shout out, man, and continue to make us look good,
Hmm.
as black men and pushing the envelope, man. So he's looking at going to grad school, but we definitely as
Nice.
uncles got to give that brother, man,
Nice.
show that brother some love, man.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, man. And way to go to the parents, Chris and Deanna, for putting together such a talented young man that
Yeah, yeah.
persevered, went through a lot,
Hmm.
and to come out on the other side.
Yeah.
I pray a bright future for that young man.
Mm. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you ready, man, for your professor?
Yeah. Let's drop something real
Let's
quick.
do it.
Yes, sir.
Ask the professor. The professor.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, when you throw your hands up, I do it too on this
I
side.
saw you. I saw you do it.
What you got, man?
Hey man, so just in reference to a great movie that me and the family went to go see on Sunday morning on yesterday, Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. I thought it was awesome. It was amazing. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes, but again, go pee before you get in there. But sneak your snacks in. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna stay glued. Um, it what it did for me, INF, it kind of reopened a wound of losing Chadwick Boseman. Kind of reopened a wound for me, and for a lot of you that probably saw it yourselves. It reopened a wound of losing Chadwick Boseman that put his imprint in a lot of movies, but specifically with this strong black man hero such as Black Panther, T'Challa, King T'Challa. Um, I did not know, INF, that 2018, when the first Black Panther movie came out, that he was sick and filming Black Panther. He had been dealing with colon cancer for many, many years. And for many of us that are fans and watched his craft, we did not know, but I'm sure that there were those that he worked with and those that were in his inner circle knew exactly what he was dealing with. But again, to see this this great craftsman and artist really reach the highest levels of artistry through pain, through sickness, and through disease is something to really be honored, to really honor. And I believe that the movie really honored Chadwick Boseman's legacy. But just with dealing from the outside looking in and looking at how he struggled with colon cancer from prior to 2018 up until his death, it kind of just made me it kind of just made me start thinking about how many of us who are men, we do suffer in silence at times. We do not speak of our challenges or our difficulties. We do not often share of the problematic situations that we go through, if it's on an emotional level, a relationship level, spiritual, or a health condition. Many times we don't speak about those things because, again, it may appear as a weakness, it may appear as an insecurity, or it just might be that we're totally scared about what it is that we are facing. And, eh, we've been conditioned with gender norms. Women, they're fine with talking about their vulnerabilities, but men, we seldom talk about what our weaknesses, our fears, or what our vulnerabilities are. And when we don't have that outlet or we don't have that mechanism in place, we may resort to some more self destructive behaviors that can really damage us in the long run, so that we're not just not effective for ourselves, but we're not effective for the people that need us the most. So I just wanted to bring that up because watching that movie just kind of
Yeah.
brought and opened up that hurt as a fan of the craft and the gift of Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah.
and to follow the character of T'Challa, King T'Challa as Black Panther, and to see his legacy even in this second movie, just it almost brought me to tears in many instances, but I felt a sense of healing at the end of it, a sense of closure at the end of it, you know. But I want to say this to the brothers out there and to some of the sisters that feel as if you got you to hold it all together. I want you to realize that if you feel like that, that you're trying to hold things all together, you're trying to do it by yourself, you got to stop doing that and start developing some better coping mechanisms in your life, supports in your life, so that you can last a little longer. Because the more that you take on by yourself, the more you will not be able to give of yourself in the capacity that you desire to. So I just want to leave it right there and just say, don't suffer in silence. Don't sit there and just keep that pain to yourself. Go see a doctor. Go talk to someone. Go reach out to someone that can effectively relate to your situation and get you the healing that you need. That's the professor.
It's funny you said that. Interesting. I'm sorry, not funny. It's interesting because I think about a lot of men over the years I've come in contact with, and the case is they okay with suffering in silence. And they're not going to, and you can see their disposition, they're not going to talk to anyone. They're just going to stand there and suffer. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, for me, it's a sense of insecurity, a sense of or a lack of confidence that I'm not going to be able to talk to someone, open up, and be healed. I've been functioning in this way for such a long time, and I've
Mm-hmm.
seen
Mm-hmm.
I've had the ability to function like this, so I'm gonna continue to function like this.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that a lot of men don't put themselves in a position
Mm-hmm.
to seek out help.
Yeah.
We're that fireman where when there's a fire, we ready to go put out someone else's house,
Mm-hmm.
douse their house with water. But when it comes to ourselves,
Yeah.
we're gonna blow up and
Yeah.
take all
Yeah.
that, take all that
Mm-hmm.
in. So,
That's right.
good word, man.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
word, professor, man. Good word, man. Any questions? We good? Anything else, man? We good. I know you got your game to
Listen,
get.
I got a game coming up, and I want to get ready for it. But I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, nah,
I'm down
I
for
don't have
whatever.
anything else, man.
Okay.
But nah, I don't have anything else, man. Nah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was good, man. Getting back talking to my brother, man. Can't
Yeah.
wait to get the other two on here, man, so we can have some good conversation, man. Go back and
Mm-hmm.
forth, argue, debate, some good content, man. We had some good convo on the ride back, man. Me, Jim, and Ward. Those
All right.
nothing like car conversations, man. Nothing like it. It's a lot of laughs, a lot of thought, a lot of questions, and just sharing, man. So I thought it was
That's
dope.
good.
Lastly,
That's
for
good.
me, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to Michael Moore, man. Plenty more designs,
Mm-hmm.
man. He hit me up with with some sweaters, man, some hoodies, man. And Michael, he's been doing a fantastic job, man. He got our sweaters looking nice and vibrant. You can find Michael at plentymoredesigns.com. Michael does banners, flyers, posters, labels, stickers, tent cards, business cards, door hangers, and much, much more. Vehicle graphics, wall graphics, floor graphics. You can find him at Plenty More Designs, plentymoredesigns.com, on Facebook, Instagram, all your streaming or social platforms, man. So I just wanted to say, thanks to Mike, man. Appreciate you, my good brother, for the good work that you do, man. And it's nice, man.
You,
Appreciate you, man. Dope
you
conversation,
you
K.
got
K.
my medium. You got my medium hoodie. You got my medium. You
I
got my
should.
medium. Come on, man.
Yeah, I
All
should.
right.
I gotta see.
I don't wear
I
no. I
gotta
don't wear
see.
no large, man. I need a medium.
You need a medium. Oh man, dope
Yes, sir.
conversation, man. I definitely appreciate, man. We in the beginning of the week, so my prayer, man, is that everybody just really just take their time, man, and schedule their week out, talk to their family members, man, decompress during the course of the week when you need
Mhm.
to, man. Whether it's weightlifting, whether it's going out to run, and whether it's just taking some time to yourself. But make sure you find some time to decompress. Make sure you find some time to breathe. This is Keith, and this is my brother, the Professor Kevy Kev. This is
Yes,
just
sir.
our thoughts. Peace. Have a blessed one.
Peace, y'all. Love y'all.